don't know how to start this video. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a weight loss Q&A because a few of you asked for one and I thought I may as well do it now at the beginning of my channel just to sort of get that out there for you guys. I will just put out there, I've never done a sit down video before. I feel a bit awkward, I feel a bit nervous, so please bear with me. I've got my journal here with some of the questions that you guys asked me in it. I'm just going to answer a few of them and talk about my weight loss journey. I'm going to add pictures as well, I think, if the answer needs pictures, because there was nothing worse when I was trying to lose weight than looking at people's weight loss Q&As and them just being like, yeah, I've lost 100 pounds, and then they didn't show the picture of them losing the 100 pounds, you know? I'm just nosy like that. Anyway, the first question I got was, what made you start your journey? Basically, I started my journey, I think like a lot of people, when lockdown was announced. Now, one of the reasons I did that was because I had a lot more time on my hands. Also, I have never really felt comfortable with my body. I still don't, and we'll talk about that in a bit. I never was really comfortable with my body at all. I did not like the way I looked in any way. I used to hide myself in dark, baggy clothing. Never, ever have I liked my body, and the more I didn't like my body, the more I ate, and it was just a horrible cycle. I started this journey at the beginning of COVID, and the main kickstart then was one, having the time, and two, I was really starting to worry about my health because my asthma was getting so bad to the point where I'd need my inhaler like 4 times a day. It was horrible. And then obviously COVID happened, so I was worried because that obviously has an effect on your lungs. So I was really worried about myself and my health. And so yeah, I started my weight loss journey. I started to really actually look into the science behind it. And that leads us on to the next question, which is, what made you start calorie counting? If I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I have not had a good past with food in any way. From all the research I did, I took some time, I looked at all the science behind it, and I did realise that calorie counting was the best way to do it. I've done every fad diet. I did keto, I did no sugar, I did no fats, I did things like the ABC diet. All of these very unhealthy ways of losing weight I have tried, I will promise you, and I do not recommend in any way. I started calorie counting because through my research I realised that a calorie deficit is the only way to lose weight. Full stop. It's the only way to lose weight. I'm not saying calorie counting is the only way to lose weight, but all of the diets are because you are in a calorie deficit. That is why you're losing the weight. And calorie counting is the easiest way to do that because you can eat all of the foods that you love still whilst being in a calorie deficit. To try and explain that a bit more, I'll explain what a calorie deficit is to you in case you don't know. So a calorie deficit, the way I explain it is, you need a certain amount of calories a day to be able to do anything, to eat, to sleep, to laugh, to talk, that kind of thing. To work that out, you need to find out your total daily expenditure, which you can do online. There's calculators and stuff like that, and I'll actually leave a link in the bio for the one that I use. Now, once you've found that out, you then can take away anywhere between 250 to 500 calories off of that number. So imagine me finding out when I was like 17 stone that my calories that I needed to maintain the weight I was on was like 3,200. That meant that I could eat like 2,700 calories and lose weight. That was amazing for me because I was used to eating 1,200 calories, restricting, and then completely binging out. And I started doing that. I started eating 2,700 calories. I was having all of these things that I loved. Me and my girlfriend would go on walks and get a like Mr. Whippy and a donut, and I had the calories for that. And I started losing weight, and I thought, why have I not done this sooner? Why did I not look up the actual science sooner? Why was I buying all of these skinny teas, trying keto, doing all of these things when I could live my life the way I was living it, just more mindfully? That genuinely changed everything for me, like everything. Next question is, how do you find motivation? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I do not believe that motivation is as important in this journey as people make it seem. The word motivation isn't a word we should focus on in your weight loss journey. The word consistent is. I'm not motivated half of the time. In my day in the life, you can literally see I do not want to work out, but I have to. I have to work out. It will make me feel better. It's in my schedule. I know I have to do it, so I do it. That's the difference. I'm not motivated to do it. I don't really want to do it half the time, but I do it, especially with home workouts. I do not want to be doing a home workout. Like when I'm at the gym, I'm more likely to want to be there and more motivated. But what I'm trying to say is that motivation is not something we need to focus on. Consistency is. You need to be consistent. You need to have discipline to say to yourself, yeah, I don't want to do this today, but I'm going to. If you're saying more, how did I stay on track, that kind of thing, I was just seeing results. I was seeing myself become more confident. My mental health was getting better and better and better. And we'll talk about that in a bit as well. The scales were going down. My progress pictures were changing. And I didn't want to stop. And yes, there were days I didn't have motivation. But I thought to myself, if you want to see these changes still, you need to do these things. So I kept going. So next question is, did you work out? Yes, I did, but not as intensely as people make you think you need to. During lockdown, my girlfriend was living at my house and we were going on like runs. And I was pushing myself too hard. I was trying to run at like 17 stone. My knees were giving out on me. My back was giving out on me. My asthma was giving out on me. But I thought I had to. I thought, well, to lose weight, you have to go on runs. That's what you need to do. No, don't do it. You're just going to injure yourself. Genuinely, I have knee problems from that still to this day. Some days when it's a leg day, I cannot do it because I tried to run when I shouldn't have been trying to run. I stopped doing that and I started focusing on walking. And I thought, right, I should just focus on getting my steps in. I should just focus when she's doing her running. I'm just going to go to the woods and walk. I'm going to enjoy the scenery. I'm going to go on a nice walk and it's going to be fine. And it was amazing. It made me feel so much better about myself. I was hitting my step goal. I was burning calories still, but I was not killing my body in order to do it. And I still very much believe that walking is the number one exercise for weight loss. Not number one underrated exercise, not any of that. I believe it is the number one exercise for weight loss. And people just do not talk about it enough. People don't even think it's an exercise. And especially if you haven't done any exercise before, don't force yourself to go out there on a run because you're gonna get hurt, basically. I did do a bit of weight training as well, but it was very minimal, probably like 10 minutes a day. I probably did bicep curls and hammer curls and then called it a day. I didn't join the gym until August, and that is when I started consistently weight training and really enjoying it. In lockdown 3, I think we're in. Are we in lockdown 3? When lockdown 3 happened, I began trying running again because I thought, right, you're like 4 stone lighter, your asthma's so much better, let's just try and see it. And it was all right. Running is not my favourite exercise at all. So I have phases where I'm like, yeah, let's go on a run, it'll be great. And then I'm like, no. I've just had a phase where I wanted to run and now I'm just going on walks again. But the difference is, as long as I'm getting my steps in for the day, I don't care how I do that, whether that's on a run, whether that's on walking, whatever that is. What's been your biggest struggle? So for me, my biggest struggle has been my mental health in all of this. I'm not gonna lie, this has changed my life mentally. My mental health is thriving. It's amazing. If a few of you don't know, I suffer from a few different kind of mental health issues. I used to struggle really bad. I would never get out of bed. Like, I genuinely, when I say that, I mean it. I would never get out of bed. I would just be in bed all day long, and then I'd order a takeaway at like 11 p.m. and yeah. My biggest struggle was my mental health at the beginning, and it still is, because now I'm learning that I'm suffering massively with body dysmorphia. Because I have had issues in the past, I have never really known what my body fully looks like. So there'll be pictures when I was really overweight where I did not realise I looked like that in the slightest. And there'll be pictures of me now where I, in my head, think I'm still really overweight, and I'll look at it and it'll be a complete shock. Because when I look at myself, I don't know what I look like. That's kind of what body dysmorphia is. For me, going from struggling with being in bed all day, not wanting to do anything, to then now being relatively happy. I have my bad days still. Mine is very like this. So I can tell when I'm going in a downward spiral, and I can tell when I'm coming out of that. For me, I didn't realise that I would struggle with different kind of mental health issues whilst on this journey. I thought, oh, I'm going to get healthier, I'm going to lose weight, my mental health is going to start thriving, and it's going to be great. Never did I think body dysmorphia would come into it. Never did I think being obsessed with calorie counting could come into it, which it kind of did, but I'm out of that now. Basically, what I say to everyone is this is also a journey on learning yourself and learning what's happening in your mind and learning how to control that and everything. During this journey, I started meditation, I started listening to podcasts, stuff like that. I'm not saying you need to do that at all, but I really learned that I had to listen to myself a lot more to help me on this journey and to help me with life. So yeah, I think my biggest struggle isn't anything to actually do with weight loss on this journey. It's got nothing to do with a plateau or eating too much or anything like that. It's to do with like what's going on in my brain. The next question is, will you continue once you hit your goal? Yes, I will. I definitely will. And I want to tell you all that this is something that people don't realise. Once you've lost all the weight, that's not the end. You need to then teach yourself how to eat at maintenance. You need to wean yourself off calorie counting whilst listening to your body and knowing that eating at maintenance isn't eating the way you used to eat. That's a very different thing, because eating the way you used to eat is way over your maintenance, especially now you've lost all the weight. So once you've lost the weight, you need to teach yourself intuitive eating, you need to teach yourself your maintenance calories now, you need to do all of those things. For me, I want to hit my goal, stay at maintenance for I don't know how long, and then start bulking and cutting phases. And the reason I want to do that is because I train very bodybuilder style. I train that kind of way in the gym with my weight training, and I really want to get into that kind of side of fitness and eating. So that's my goal. My goal is to lose another, I think I've got another probably about another stone, maybe a stone and a half to lose, and then I'm going to maintain, and then I'm going to start bulking and cutting. Yeah. And the last question was, how much more do you want to lose? And like I've said, I want to lose about a stone and a half more. The thing with that is that because I want to be bulking and cutting, and because I want to train myself into being able to eat at maintenance without counting all of my calories, I'm allowing myself leeway. So I'm allowing myself between 10 stone 5 and 11 stone. I'm allowing myself that much to fluctuate, because my body can fluctuate up to like 8 pounds during a day sometimes. And allowing myself that big of a gap to fluctuate in a way is really good for me and my brain, because I'm not thinking I need to hit 10 stone 5 and I need to stay there. Because that's not possible for anyone. No one is going to hit 10 stone 5 and then just sit there for the rest of their lives. It's not possible. And I want to wean myself off calorie counting, off of the scales too much once I am maintaining. So that way, if I weigh myself maybe once every month instead of once every week, I will see, oh, okay, I've gained like 2 pounds here. So I now need to figure out, maybe I'm not actually at maintenance, maybe I'm eating in a bit of a surplus, and I can figure that out. But a lot of what I do after I hit that goal is going to be more mental again. It's going to be learning how to not be so strict with my calories and not be so strict with weighing myself and stuff like that. Right, that's everything. If you have any more questions at all, just DM me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to answer anything. My messages are open. I go through them like every day, so I'm more than happy to let you know. Yeah, if you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.